I'm Lee Uchoma. Actually, I'm the CEO of CoinNewsExtra.com. So introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi everyone, I am Maria Vovchok. I'm a crypto journalist. I'm also a host and moderator at IT and blockchain conferences. For the time being, also I'm a news presenter, translator, and sometimes interpreter.
Okay, that's nice. So how did you make it into the blockchain space? What's your educational background?
Well, my educational background is I'm English-Ukrainian translator. So, like English is my third language, but still I spent a very long time like learning it. Probably this is like another my passion. I really like English. When I was a student, I really liked learning English. So the thing is, I was working as a radio presenter, and usually it is Ukrainian national radio station. So I was working, I was conducting programs in Ukrainian, but I have worked there for over 5 years, no less. And then a friend of mine, he was doing his ICR project. At that time, it was rather successful, and he asked me to do some translations for him and do some editing stuff as well. So I did, and it was like in 2017. It was my first time, because as I mentioned before, I was working as well as a translator. So I was also helping him with this project, and this was the first time how I entered the blockchain space generally. And it was the year when I first visited my first blockchain UA conference, which is held every 2 years, 2 times a year per year in Kiev. So now I have visited it more than probably 6 times. Yeah.
Okay. So what is it, because you saw the white paper? What really caught your attention in the space?
Well, to be honest, I really like this stuff, which I find at first rather difficult. And for me, as far as I was dealing, when I was working on the radio station, I was dealing mostly with the programs, entertaining programs. And later there were some social programs on social topics. But what caught my attention, it's first the difficulty probably of the topic, and at the same time I have found it very interesting, which I need to dwell deeper and find out more about it. So it's how I actually started learning all the stuff about blockchain, about different projects, different cryptocurrencies, and etc. So, but later on, after this project, where I was like helping with translation, I was also invited to interview crypto experts, because as a journalist, I've had rather big experience interviewing people. So as the result, I was asked to interview people here as well, but in totally different topic for me, and at the same time, very interesting topic for me, because I have never been dealing with blockchain before. I just I've heard about it probably in 2016, for the first time, although a lot of my acquaintances, they got into blockchain space, like somebody in 2013, somebody in 2012, so they were probably one of the, I would say, all the oldest people, not the oldest, but they were for a pretty long time in the blockchain space.
Okay, Izzy, I read some of your profiles. Are there other organizations you have already worked with in this space, in the crypto space?
Sorry, once again, I couldn't hear you.
I said some organizations that you have worked with in the crypto space.
Well, usually I was dealing with projects with the news. In this case, first time, it was rather amateur, but still a funny channel called Crypto TV. It was the first time where I was invited to interview people. Later on, there was CryptoCoin.news. Later on, Crypto Market News. And just recently, I was also invited to work with a project called, it's a new social media platform called crypto.
Okay, okay. That's very nice. You have a project you are handling recently, like a blog, a TV blog platform. I saw you are handling.
Well,
So,
actually,
what can you say about it?
yeah, I started like my own TV blog where I interview now people whom I know from the blockchain space on my own, because I thought it's the same what I was doing for different cryptocurrency, crypto news media. So as far as I'm a journalist, I can do it by myself. So it's how I decided that probably because here I can choose the topic which might be relevant today. I may choose the speaker whom I know and whose expertise I consider to be valuable. So in this case, it's how I do my interview.
In a crypto space, there are just few ladies compared to the population of the men in the space. So how are you really coping with it? Is it working to your advantage or to your disadvantage?
Of course, to the advantage. Well, in my case, I may tell that I enjoy male's company all the time because it was similar when I was at the university. So in this case, for me, it's only good. The thing is, sometimes I still wish that there will be more ladies because this is an interesting topic. Still, it might be difficult, but still interesting to learn and to find out more about the males. All the time, I'm on good with all of them. So I'm not trying to compete. I'm trying to learn from them. So I think in this case, I feel very, very comfortable.
Okay. Are you only a journalist in the field? Do you do other things in the crypto space? Do you trade? Do you mine? Or is you just focus on journalism?
Sorry, once again?
I say, what are other things you do in the space? Is it only journalism? Are you into other aspects of the space, like crypto trading or mining?
No. In this case, I'm mostly a journalist. I would even say enthusiast. I'm not so into trading, to be honest, although I was thinking about mining, despite the fact that in this case, I thought it probably I should. I was into mines, so actually I decided that I should learn like more in case of the news, because I'm a news person. I'm a news personality. So for me, journalism is the first thing. The other thing which I'm doing is now I've started like host very many conferences, not too many for the time being, but more and more. And these are not only blockchain, but also these are IT conferences generally. And they're happening not only abroad, but also in Ukraine, here in Kyiv. So I host them usually in Ukrainian or English.
Okay, so how is the crypto space, the community over there in Ukraine? How is it?
I would say that we have for me personally, we have one of the strongest and the smartest communities in the world. I don't want to offend anybody, but we have very friendly community. A lot of acquaintances whom I know here, they are not only friendly, as I mentioned before, but they're very smart. So also, as it was Hartej mentioned, Hartej Sauni, I interviewed him the last time, and my blog, you can see it also if you're really Maria Vovchok on YouTube. We were talking that a lot of Ukrainian programmers, they're now working out from him, but we discussed it, and not only with him, that a lot of Ukrainian guys, they're very smart and they are working for different international projects. Some of them, they have moved to Silicon Valley to work there. Some are working here, but working like they're working like online. So in this case, Ukrainian community is strong, is really passionate. We have lots of interesting projects. We have lots of different conferences, although when the crypto winter came in 2017, the number of these blockchain events has declined. And for me, I feel a bit about it feel sad, a bit sad, but I think it's a matter of time. So in the future, we probably will have again more conferences, more events. I would even say it would be better, and there are already some educational stuff which our crypto community is doing. So I find it really interesting, very important, and I think it will be exciting for other people from other countries also to learn.
Okay. You said the community, they are friendly. So what can you say about regulation? Are the regulators friendly?
Well, the regulations are now, I'll tell you this. I would tell even more when this draft bill, which was recently introduced to the Parliament of Ukraine, will be, I don't know, I don't think it was signed yet. But we have already, our community, together with the government, they've been working on the draft bill, which will say how crypto will be treated and how they will be taxed, because taxes in our country are pretty high sometimes. But in this case, the taxes on crypto will be much, will be like on, for example, like generally it's 19 and 5%, but on crypto it will be 5%. So we'll see what happens, although there are still not all of the crypto community in Ukraine agrees on this 5%, but we'll see what happens when this draft bill will be signed. And will it be?
Okay. Well, so far, will you say they are friendly? Are there some clampdowns on crypto companies or anything? Will you say the government of Ukraine, they are neutral or against blockchain and cryptocurrency?
Do you mean crypto community or community?
I'm talking about the regulators. So far, are there any issues like clampdown on companies or anything? Will you say the Ukrainian government that they are friendly or they are just neutral?
Well, you know, if comparing, for example, I don't want to compare, but still, if just recently I heard the news that in Russia there will be some, again, there are some probably payments with crypto will be prohibited. In Ukraine, there are no such limitations, at least as far as I know for now. But I would say that this government is trying to be rather friendly towards crypto projects, crypto community in general, because there are some people in the government who are working, as I mentioned, on this draft bill to make it rather loyal, despite the fact that we have already been accustomed to the loyal attitude towards cryptocurrency. So that's why they are not willing to pay, for example, 5% on crypto, on different payments. Which, I mean, if you, for example, switch crypto to fiat, you need to pay like 5% on. Yeah, but in this case, not everybody agrees on this 5%, because for now it's like you don't have to pay taxes at all. So what I need to say, generally, there, as far as I know, as far as I've been, like, I've faced, there are no strict limitations on crypto, but still we will see what will happen when crypto will be like adopted as a bill. I mean, a bill on crypto will be adopted in the government, in the parliament.
Okay, that's nice. From your speech, one could know that Ukraine so far is friendly.
Yeah, of course. The thing is, I don't know when it will be. I would say even more, I think, next year. I think we still need a couple of months to tell like 100%. But for now, there is no prohibition that you. Probably the only problem, there is not enough infrastructure, so it's not so very convenient to pay for your, for example, some kind of products, goods which you would like to pay with crypto. Not everybody it's possible to do this in Ukraine, but I hope that in the future we'll have more possibilities for that.
Okay, when it comes to away from regulation, let's come to crypto education. You know, the key to our mass adoption of crypto and blockchain is education. So, are there things going on in Ukraine to enlighten the public about crypto and blockchain?
I'll tell you that we have like our Ukrainian blockchain community, and together with the president and the CEO, Michael Chabanyan, Natalia Drake, and other people from our blockchain community, blockchain association, I meant, they actually created a school for programmers who would like to learn more about blockchain. And as far as I know, there already one very successful course, and it has ended. But I don't know whether there is like additional one. But what I'm trying to say that in this case, still there are courses, but they are not so widespread at the moment. We'll see what happens next. For now, I can say we don't have like course in the university on blockchain, because I've heard in some countries already blockchain as a specialty is studied at some universities. I hope it will be in the future in Ukraine as well. But I may say that a lot of people, including myself, we have been learning about blockchain like from different stuff, from books, from experts, like listening to them at the conferences, watching YouTube videos. It's really easy for the time being to learn about this stuff, like the general stuff. Although if we are talking about some more difficult things, I think probably we should be more like carefully picking up whom we would like to listen to and whose expertise we would like to like follow.
Okay, that's very nice. You've been able to, as a journalist in the space, you've been able to interview some personalities, one of them being Charlie Lee, the founder of Litecoin. So how did it happen?
Actually, I've visited like Blockchain Cruise 2018. This year I was also a host at the Blockchain Cruise 2019. And I decided, although it was kind of my vacation there, because I just got the tickets. I just won them at the moment. I remember last year, so I decided that I need to have a rest. But still, I think as far as like what I would really like to do as well is to interview people whom I consider to be knowledgeable and interesting. So I picked like 3 persons whom I considered I wanted to interview at that moment. So one of them is Charlie Lee, definitely one of the brightest people in terms of knowledge, I think, in the crypto space. And that's why we agreed that we'll do the interview, and that's how it happened.
Okay, that's very nice. That's very nice. So what can you say to our audience? We are just rounding up. Is there anything you can say, and other things you think that should be done in the crypto and blockchain space for mass adoption, and anything you feel like, suggestions, contributions?
I may tell first of all that I would wish everybody who got interested, who at least like heard about blockchain and about different blockchains, if you find this topic interesting, try to learn as much as possible on the internet. Try to find out what, for example, not only about the projects themselves, but how to use it. Learn, first of all, how to use cryptocurrency wallets, how to apply it, for example, how can you benefit from it, like staying in crypto and etc. And in this case, learn. I think the education is the most important. And as you mentioned before, for mass adoption, I think when we learn, and more people will learn about it and how to use it and what are the advantages of it, I think it will be one of the best options for mass adoption in the future. So this mass adoption will come sooner than we could expect, I think.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. We are glad to have you on CoinNewsExtra.com. So thank you very much for coming. So
thank you for having me.